welcome back to the channel, guys. Today we're working on the 64 C10. We're going to put lowering springs and shocks on the rear end. It needs a lot of work. I bought it as a project, as most of them are. I've wire brushed down the frame, painted the frame. I used the VHT roll bar and chassis paint. Again, this is just a rat rod slash hot rod. I'm not doing a restoration on this truck, just something fun to drive. I've got a Vortec block and heads here that I'm going to do something with, put it together, you know, bump up the cam a little bit. You know, it's got a 350 turbo in it. I'm going to use that transmission that's in it. Somebody had put a 305, that's coming out. As you can see, somebody has done a hack job on the back here. I'm gonna have to fix that. I'm gonna do a little repair down here in the bottom. Actually, I have a cab that has a good bottom in it that I'm gonna use. As you can see, this one is not. This one is completely gone. What I'm going to wind up doing, and it'll be in future videos, we're going to hack the top off of this cab, put it on the other cab that has a really good bottom in it. The cab supports, the floors are in a lot better shape than this one. It needs a little bit of cab corner work, but the cab is in a lot better shape than this one is. So, but that's for future. Today I just wanted to do I wanted to go ahead and put my lowering springs on the back, put the shocks on, but let's get started. Changing out these springs, pretty simple job. You have a bolt down here on the bottom. You have a bolt right here. Just undo those bolts. You have to take your shock loose, and then I'm gonna clean up the area. I'm going to, once I get the shock out, naturally I'm gonna clean up the area, paint it a little bit there and underneath here, give it a little bit cleaner look. That bolt's a little gone. I'm gonna have to replace the bolts as well. Well, let's round it off, guys. So I'm gonna deal with this and then we'll be back. Okay, guys, we got this bolt that's broke off in here. It's the bolt that holds the top of the spring. So I'm just gonna have to drill that out so we can clean everything up and get the new lowering spring on here. So let's get after it. Oh, there we go. That was good. I'm just going to take a wire wheel, clean all this area up here, clean all the area up here where the spring's going to go, and the new shock's going to mount, so I can paint those immediate areas, and then I'll worry about painting everything else later. Okay, I use this VHT roll bar and chassis paint. I've used it for a while. I like it. Okay, we got the new hold downs in. The bolts are tight. Now I'm gonna move to putting the shock on this side. Okay, just gonna hang our shock here. This slides up in here. Get the holes lined up. Slide the bolt through once you get the hole found up. Don't forget to put your washers on there. Slide the bolt through. Put the nut on. And do the same thing down here. And I'm using grade 8 hardware to put these on. Sometimes they need a little persuasion. Oh, come on, you. There we go. Let's get the hole lined up. Not getting ahead of yourself. And there we go. Tighten down the bolt. Oops. Once we get the bolts in, we just tighten them down. Nice and tight. Then we tighten these uppers. Nice and tight, and there you have it. We've got the lowering spring and the shock installed. We'll get over here and get started on this one in just a minute. Okay guys, to remove these springs here, you've got two bolts. One runs through the bottom here, and then the head of the other one is here and comes up through the bottom of the frame rail. They're both got a 3/4 head on them. So you just remove that bolt there, down in there, and there's one right up in here you remove, and then the spring will slide right out. Okay. Everybody get a pair of vice grips to hold that. Now we got that bolt out. All right, we got that lower bolt out. Now I'm gonna cut the spring so I can get at this bolt here easier. The springs are junk anyway. I don't plan on reusing them, and I don't know anyone else who wants them. I'm just gonna cut the spring, that way I can get in here and get that bolt out real easy. Okay, now that we can get to this bolt a lot easier. It's going to do just like the other side did and round off. Okay, so what I'm gonna have to do here is get the head of this bolt cut off, and then I'm gonna have to drill it out. I'll take care of that, and then we'll be right back on it. Okay guys, what I did was cut the head off with a reciprocating saw, and then just broke it loose on the inside. I put a 3/4 wrench on the nut on the inside, and it just popped loose right there. So now I'm gonna take a wire wheel, clean up the area real good, clean this up. I gotta get the shock off, and I gotta paint it before we put it all back together. When you're doing this, always remember guys, this is rust. You don't want to be breathing this stuff in. Put your mask on so you're not inhaling all this crap into your lungs. It's not good for the lungs. Okay guys, I finished getting everything, the bolt cut that was stuck in here, and it rounded off the head, and I had to cut the head off of that bolt there to get it out. And then the lower shock mount, the bolt was seized in the metal sleeve, and I wound up having to cut that one off as well. Stuff you have to deal with when you're dealing with these old rust buckets. So I got all that off, got everything wire brushed down, got it painted. So now I'm getting ready to put everything back together. The spring, I've got the spring keepers here. We'll get those on there. And when you go to mount your shock, you have these little metal sleeves right here that you have to press inside the rubber here so the bolts can slide through. So let's get started. We're gonna, just like I said, get these pressed in. Might get a rubber hammer and knock it in all the way. Press them in the top and the bottom. There we go. There we go. Got that one in. And we got that one in. Now we got the shock ready to mount. Probably gonna have to let this down just a touch. Drop that rear end a little bit so we can slide the spring in. You're gonna slide your spring in. Get it in there. This one with the nut goes on the bottom. You just get it lined up. Then you take your long bolt here with your washers on it. Feed it through. Get it started. Make sure your spring is being held by the mount. And then you'll take your short bolt, 1.5 inch, 2-inch bolt, whichever one you choose. Then this mount here goes up in here. You'll feed the bolt through. There's a hole in the bottom of the frame. You stick it up in there. I'm gonna have to jack up the rear end just a little bit so I can get this bolt started. Get that spring closer to the bottom of the, get that spring on the bottom of the frame there. Get that started. Like that. Get your hand up in there and just get your nut started on the bolt there. Just get a few threads started on it, and then you can adjust it to where you need to before you lock it down. Then on the shock, mounts in the top here. Just slide your bolt through. Well, that wants to be a little bit of a butt. Get your mallet, knock it on through. Washer on the other side. Get your, start your nut. like so. Then on the bottom, just pull up on your shock a little bit, work it in there. Get that all the way through. Washer. Get the nut started. And there you have it. Oh, turning it the wrong way. Make sure your spring holder, hold down for your spring, is around holding the spring good. And lock it down. Okay. Got those tight, finally. Whew. Okay guys, that wraps up lowering the rear. Man, I gotta clean this place up. Lowering the rear of the truck 4 inches. Those are 4-inch lowering springs, and the shocks, the McGoy's 4-inch lowering shocks. And we painted the frame. Just wire wheeled it, and I'll finish it up as we go along. I love it. That's why I do it. I'm having fun doing it. I know it out here late at night, it's hot and I'm sweating and don't look like it, but man, this is my passion. I love working on these old cars. Been doing it 40 years. Thank you so much for watching the video. Please like, please subscribe, comment, good or bad. I know I'm gonna get them both. Again, I don't do frame offs. I've done that once, won't do it again. Oh shit. Watch out for that engine stand. It's just gonna be a cruiser, man. Yeah, I'm gonna do what I can with it. It's my truck, I'll do what I want. Likewise, you know, you're not building it wrong if it's yours and you're doing it the way you want to. Just get out there and build it, man. Do whatever you want to do. Appreciate you watching. Again, thank you very much. Again, please like, subscribe. I'll see you next time.